Hey Addicts, welcome back to another Walking Dead video. Before I get into the comic and the latest issue, I just wanted to say real quick to anybody that watches my Walking Dead Season 9 episode by episode stuff. That video was supposed to come out before this one, but unfortunately because of technical reasons, I wasn't able to upload it before, so just know it is coming, but it's probably going to be a little bit, so sorry for the wait, but I will get to it eventually. But anyway, we're here to talk about issue 189. Let's see, what's it called? Lines Are Drawn. And this issue, I got some problems with it. There's some things that I did like in it, but we're just going to start by, breaking down the recap. So we first start off with seeing Eugene and his girl. And this plays out, I think, how everybody anticipated to. They kind of realize that the herd's there. Don't know why it took them so long to realize it, but they decide the best course is just to run inside the train, one of like the boxcars, and they're sitting there and seemingly trapped amongst this huge herd. Then we get to bounce back to the Commonwealth and see Mercer in his cell, and this is when Laura comes to visit him. And this is a prison break, and they do this by exploding part of the wall, which causes a much more than needed explosion and almost killing Mercer. No injury, though. And we get this little back and forth between him and Laura, and then we also see that she's been rallying a lot of his supporters, so getting the guards that are on his side, as well as we even get to see the guy that actually quote-unquote betrayed Mercer that led to him being arrested. We see that, he's actually on his side, and he was just like, oh yeah, had this little moment that I laughed, but I'm with you, trust me. So we get them going off to get more of their supporters, and then this is when we see Rick come into Pamela's office to try to save them, dumbass cunts. Man, Rick, it's like, you gotta give applause to Rick for doing this, because I sure as hell wouldn't, especially for these people, but we get to see that he takes charge and leading them to safety, trying to find, the best place. Some quick thinking on Rick, it served him well throughout all the years, coming into the building and then locking the door behind them to kind of slow them down and this, that, and the third. But we get to see that they get out of the office, and Pamela's son, she's just being an asshole again, a dumb one at that. And we get to see that he's like, oh, who put you in charge, old man? And we finally got Rick to choke this bitch out. And I'm glad that we got it. And, Pamela stops him, of course. But I think, Rick should have given a little bit more, but at least we got enough to put him in his place for a while. But we get to see that they make it out of the Commonwealth safely. They're planning on meeting up with the other place that we had seen, I believe Michonne and Elodie traveled to. At least that's what I gathered. They were going to be headed towards to kind of stow away the governor until, things calm down. But we get to see that in this moment, Rick meets up with Jesus and the others, and this is when he kind of splits up with them. Jesus takes Pamela and the other people that were with her in her office to this place while the others come back with Rick, and in that moment we get to flash back to Eugene and his chick, and it's basically just him playing the badass in front of his girl. He deals with the herd pretty well, has this whole reminiscent thing about No Way Out, which I think mirrors more of like the show, because I don't think we got too much in depth of like Eugene and what he was feeling in that moment in the comic, at least not from my memory off the top of my head. But it's still a nice little nod here and there, and it's enough to give this girl the courage, I guess, or the willpower to actually go through with bobbing, weaving out of this huge herd. But then we get to see that they make it, seemingly at least, to safety. And then we flash back to Rick and the group that decided to come back with him on foot because Jesus took the horses for Pamela, which those people don't deserve horses to get to their destination. They should be walking. But anyway, we get to see that they're Rick and Carl are having a conversation, and I like this moment a lot where Carl asks Rick, like, what do you want me to do? And Rick kind of is like, hey, you're coming into your own and everything. You'll know when the time's right. You've been through this shit show just as much as I have. So I like that little moment in between them. It's given, Carl the much needed time that he really needs, and we haven't gotten in a while. So I did like that. But we get to see next, back at the Commonwealth, Mercer and his small gang of guards have found Lance. And he's about to possibly do something. I think he's just interrogating him at this point, trying to figure out where Pamela is. And then in that moment, we get to see actual people of the Commonwealth yelling at Mercer, calling him like a fascist and stuff like that. So we get a little bit of scuttle with the crowd. Somebody throws like a bottle at Mercer, which causes him to escalate things. He doesn't do it in a bad way. He still keeps a somewhat level head, shooting shots in the air and telling everybody to disperse. Luckily, the crowd obeys and, seemingly goes away. But this is when Rick comes in and is starting to, talk to Mercer and being like, what are you doing? And I like this, too. I like this moment a lot where, Mercer wants to do right by the people, but he's not so blinded by that goal that he doesn't, be like, I would say the stereotypical thing, be like, they'll learn, after I fix things, they'll learn that it was the right choice and they'll praise me for it. We actually see like, yes, because of what the guards have recently done, they think that we're going to make things worse because it's going to be more of that and it's not going to be better. All the politic things, I'm sure if you're catching up, you know what those references are just by the little bit I've said. But, we come to the point where Mercer realizes that, him in this situation, it's not like going to be the best response for the people, in this moment. So he's asking Rick, like, they need you. Will you be the one that, fills in those shoes? And that's how the issue ends. Rick's just kind of speechless. We don't know what his response is going to be. Pretty sure, Rick's going to try to calm down and be like, this isn't the way, and I don't want to, it's not my beef. But save that for speculation in just a bit. I'm just going to do my quick impressions of the issue. Again, I'm a little disappointed that we haven't gotten any more. We did get, I guess you could say, a little spark of, some action or revolt or whatever. It's still, in the building up stage, I would say. This isn't really something that's, I guess you could say it's the kickoff point, maybe. But really, how they ended this issue, it could really de-escalate again. So I'm not necessarily thinking that there's going to be much in the next issue either. I mean, there definitely could be, but we have a few issues still. I think like 3 or 4 in this arc. So it'd be nice to get action, but it's kind of unlikely. But there's a lot of things in the story happening right now. We still have the whole thing about, is Maggie going to bring soldiers to the Commonwealth to help, liberate these people. So if they go that route, that may take them a little while to get those people there. But anyway, I'm getting ahead of myself. So the point is with this issue, it's hard. It's really hard right now because this issue wasn't necessarily bad. It's just at the point now where I feel like the story is dragging on a little bit too long, and it's losing a lot of people. I'm not saying it's bad, but I'm just getting tired of the slowness. And it's not saying that slow paces are bad. Slow burns, I should say, by any means. But it's just that we've gone a long time, and we're just getting like itty bitty pieces. And another thing that's kind of bothering me is we're not seeing anything different. A lot of these moves are pretty predictable. The thing that Mercer says at the very end doesn't really come as a surprise because, he's been saying this all along that he wants Rick to help him and, be at the forefront of liberating these people. So there's nothing that they're doing that's really changing the format or that's a big surprise. And I think at the end of the day, that's the thing that's leading me to just be unexcited and just not really that impressed with the issue. If I was going to recommend it to somebody, I would say, again, if you're a long time, diehard fan, you're probably gonna, check out the issue right away just out of habit. I say it's still not really worth it. This whole arc, I think, is really bingeable. There's nothing that we've really seen that's different so far. There's nothing that, that's been any bit of intrigue. I guess at the beginning, more so than now. A lot of setup, not much payoff. So for me, if I really had to rate it on our schedule, I'd say can't believe it's not better. I've had this conversation with several people in the comments talking. I'm sure you're watching this right now. And I was really hopeful. It's been dragging off. I was like, I feel like I've been doing this every single month. Like, oh, just one more issue. Maybe it'll get better. Oh, just one more issue. And we're still not really getting that. I would say that at this point, don't be surprised if nothing happens. I would look it up. I should have probably looked it up before I started the video of how many more issues are in this arc, because that gives us a little bit better of an idea. But I will say I have seen the covers, I think, 3 issues ahead, because I think they've released that many, probably more. But it's just hard to say at this point, because a lot of the covers anyway, because like this cover, for instance, it shows seemingly people of the Commonwealth behind like an alleyway, sneaking up on like guards or something like that, or where there's an explosion. Technically that did happen, but not really. It's very misleading. So always with The Walking Dead, it's hard to really say. But let's pull up the cover real quick for 190. Wow, I typed in 1190. That's not right. Get it together, Josh. Okay, so yeah, this is one where, again, this may be something that doesn't happen at all. It says storm the gates. We got people's fist up in the air. We already see the explosion from, that could very well be a new explosion, but I would assuming that's still the fire left from the prison that they had in this issue. So it could just be people's displeasure. Like we said, it could be showing a scene that's, like at the tail end of this issue where the crowd was just, kind of coming together and showing displeasure. Could be the same thing. So right now, like I said, I'm not going to drag it on too much because it's already getting long, but not much to go on. And I'm hoping, that at the end, this arc will really pay off. But for right now, I'm not seeing it. So we will be back, but I'm not holding out for anything different. And that's really all much I got to say. I'm sorry. I'm just, grasping at straws here. But, oh my Lord, do this every time. Once every video, I gotta mess up my words. But anyway, like I was saying, let me guys know. I did it again. Man, am I gonna jinx myself and do it a third time? Guys, let me know. I have to fucking slow down just to say a damn sentence. That's how you know it's a long night. It's about 12 o'clock at night. What can I say? But yeah, let me know how you guys like the issue. And are you guys still holding out for this arc, or are you bailing out? Or I'm really curious because, I haven't been able to read the letter hacks, so I don't know how people are sitting in response, but I've seen a lot of negative. So if you're still holding out, let me know what's the thing that's really gripping you at this point. Is it the slow burn, or is it just the intrigue of like, what's going on with the characters, what's happening, or is it really just, the held out hope that something is going to happen that we haven't seen before? So I'm curious to know. Let me know, and I'm going to shut up because I can hardly talk as it is. So I'll see you guys next time, and I will try to have the latest episode of The Walking Dead video up by the end of the week, and I would love for it to be out the day after this one comes out, but I can't make any promises at this point. So just know I will try to have it up as soon as I can. But anyway, guys, I'm done talking. I'll see you later. Peace, Addicts.